Welcome back, Math 1. In this video, we're going to take a look at another application problem that happens frequently, and that's some geometric application where your work becomes some type of quadratic that you're going to have to deal with. So let's get right to work here and see what we can run into. Now, this problem, I actually pulled it off of the release form EOC. So very typical, likely to run into something kind of like it. Now, the way it's formatted here, they've got bullet points with the information that's going to be needed to solve this. So let's go through and read it. It says, David has a rectangle and a right triangle. The length of the rectangle is 5 more than its width. And it says the length of the shorter leg of the triangle is equal to the rectangle's width. Okay. The length of the longer leg of the triangle is twice the length of the rectangle. So those 3 bullet points are my information being given to me. And down here below, it says write a function f of w. So it's going to be a function of its width to represent the combined area of the rectangle and the triangle. Now we'll notice here that everything they're talking about has been spoken of in terms of the width. That's why it's a function of the width. And even right down here when they start talking about this triangle, it's still referencing the rectangle's width. So everything's in terms of this width. And when you run into something like this, a drawing is really helpful. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And in this case, I think we're going to find that it's going to be helpful. All right, so the very first thing you'd be writing on paper, more than likely, it's a little faster, is you're going to need your rectangle. And don't worry about scaling stuff to make it perfect. It's just not going to be worth your time. And I'm going to need a right triangle. So I'm going to stick something here like this. Okay, so there's my triangle and a rectangle. All right, now it's time to do some labeling here. We need to be careful. Now they said the width of the rectangle, we're going to call that W and think everything's based off of that width. And over here, they said, well, the length is 5 more than that. And they said, well, the shorter leg of the right triangle, because this is the shorter leg, remember that's the hypotenuse, the way I've got it drawn here. We'll make it a right triangle. The shorter leg here is equal to the width of the rectangle. Like I said, don't get wrapped up with scaling. And this is supposed to be twice the length of the rectangle, which clearly isn't, but like I said, you don't want to get too carried away with that. These pictures just help us wrap our head around what we're being asked. So pretty much that's what we've got. Now we've got to know something about areas. The area of this rectangle, we'll write it right here. Say the area of the rectangle. Well, we know it's length times the width. Right? So that's your length times your width. And right here, the area of a triangle, we'll call that area 2. That's 1/2 the base times the height, or you could say base times the height over 2. Okay, so both of those are the same thing. So we'll go with base times the height over 2. So we'd have, well, the base, I guess we'll call 2 times W plus 5 times W, all divided by 2, right? That's base times height over 2. Now you can see something nice is going to happen right here with this one. These 2's are going to divide out and cancel. Now to put this thing together, we need to add these 2 areas together. So and let's simplify this a little bit if we want to. This is W squared plus 5W. And this is going to turn out to be the same thing, isn't it? W squared plus 5W. So there's A sub 1 and A sub 2. And we're told to add these together, and when we do that, it's like we get 2 W squared plus 10W. All right, so that is our answer. So the final answer here would look like this. Come through here, we'd say, well, I'm ready to answer my question. Turns out we found f of W to be equal to 2w squared plus 10w. And that came from a multiple choice question, so that would have been one of your options. And we might see that later on this year again. But just to, go back, and I know that drawing got a little crowded there. The key, in the way I stacked it, you wouldn't necessarily have had to do that. There's more than one way to do this. But the key here is to draw it and label. Be careful. Remember, everything was written in terms of W. And they always simplify their answers, so that's why I went ahead and did some cancellation and combining. Anyway, hope this is helpful for you. You're definitely going to run into things like this out there, and we'll take a look at the next problem. The next one we've got to take a look at here is in the next video. I think is a number theory problem, which is pretty simple and pretty straightforward, but we should take a look at it. So we'll see you in the next video, you guys, and make sure you're taking care of yourselves out there. We think things getting crazy, this coronavirus stuff. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video.